Welcome back. This is Tony with YORUBADE, and I wanted to make this video about something that was very important, and I think it's good to share information that I've received and I learned with everyone else so that we can all do better. So stay tuned to the end to learn some very important information when it comes to agriculture in West Africa and the whole value chain of agriculture. Okay, so usually when we hear about Africa, we hear how rich it is and it has a lot of natural resources, and we're not really utilizing the resources as we need to, and blah, 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 blah. We keep hearing the same things. So it's definitely true, and it is something that we need to fix. But for this video, I just want to focus on the agriculture sector, and specifically with the agricultural sector, a part of it that is very important and has been causing a lot of issues with a lot of African farmers. And that's going to be, there's an article that I came across that really got me thinking into making a video about it. And hopefully, maybe one of you all that's watching this video, you can get that information. You can probably say to yourself, you know what, I know a little bit about this, or I'm interested in this, and I could get into it. So when it comes to investing in agriculture, it's not just about farming. That's usually what we hear, just farming, get a farm. That's important, but there's also so many other steps and processes to from getting the food, the produce from the farm all the way to the supermarket to your plate. So there's so many steps involved, and you can fill any one of those steps. All you got to do is just start with one. And so this one I'm going to be talking about really deals with storage. So I'm actually going to show my screen here. And basically, when it comes to West Africa and farming and anything that deals with that, we do know the environment is very vast when it comes to just different crops that you can plant. And what I liked about this article was just it was talking about sort of the historical crops that are grown in the region, what's doing well, what's not doing well, which countries are more uh, better suited for certain crops. And I think this is very important when it comes to doing business in any type of country. You have to try to figure out which country has an edge, some type of edge, whether it be the climate, or it'll just be the soils, the ground, the trees, whatever. Like, you're trying to figure out which country is good at producing something. Just looking at this is where it shows you kind of the different crops that countries are known for. So I'm going to put up this chart. I'm going to blow it up for y'all so you can see what's going on. And if you look closely, you have all the different West African countries, and they have the percentages of what's mostly grown. And this is from 2010 to 2013 data on average. So it's fairly recent, not too far away. But just looking at it, you see Benin really heavy in corn at 31%. I know Benin is known for their cotton, and I did make a video about the economics of Benin Republic, so definitely take a look at that video if you haven't already done so. I pretty much explained what the whole economy is based on and what's going on. So you see Benin, Burkina Faso, millet, sorghum. Um, what else? So what I noticed from this is there's a lot of countries that focus on millet and sorghum. Am I saying it right? Sorghum, yeah, sorghum. I've heard of those grains before. That's what it is. They're grains, but I never really knew too much about it. And you can see even with Mali, you have Gambia with the millet and sorghum, Niger, what else? Senegal. So all those northern countries near the Sahara Desert is where you see a lot of those millet and sorghum uh, being like one of the higher crops. So instead of just discarding that thought, I figured, you know what, let me just research it and actually see what it is, sorghum and millet. So come over here, and basically this website just talks about the difference. And they're both grains, and they're cereal grains that share many similarities. This is a nice chart right here. where millet is slightly higher in calories and sorghum is slightly lower in calories. And basically, they're both seeds. I mean, this is what it looks like. It's high in calories, so that means high in energy. And so this is millet, and this is sorghum. And the biggest thing about it is its ability to survive in soils that are not as nu- nutrient dense. So it's good in warmer climes where the soil also where the soil is not the greatest. It's drought resistant, so it's a tough crop. And it makes sense because those like Mali and Senegal and those areas near the Sahara Desert, the soil is not as great, and it makes sense that these will be the highest soils, the highest grains, because people need to eat, and if these grains can survive a drought, then you're going to be producing a lot of it. So this just talks about the different nutrients. So anyway, so this is millet and sorghum. If you heard of it and you never knew what it was, this is what it looks like. And of course, you can always do more research on it. So now that we understand what kind of agriculture or what type of produce is being raised, I think it's also important to understand how does it get from the farm all the way to the grocery store. And I wanted to put this graphic up for you all to see how everything works together. So you start with the production. As you can see, get your crop production, irrigation, fertilization, all that stuff. That's what we mostly talk about, that beginning part. And then the next one, post harvest, you go to the storage and you go to the drying. Uh, Remember the storage part. The storage part is what this video is really going to be about, and it's really, really important. And then from the storage and the drying, then you go to processing. So that's the cleaning, grinding. If you got to package it, process it, chop it up, whatever you need to do. That's the next step. And then after that comes to transportation. Transportation is also very important. As you know, a lot of the roads in West Africa are not the greatest, and they cause a lot of accidents and delays. So transportation and logistics is always important when it comes to food. Now, how important is that transportation and the quality of the roads? Well, it's really important. So, what tends to happen in a lot of African farmers is because of the poor roads and everything that's going on along with that, uh, a lot of a lot of the produce is delayed. And what happens is the sun starts to beat down on that produce, and it causes things to rot and spoil. So here, this is the article that talks about basically what's happening. A lot of the food waste happens before it goes to the grocery store, which is it's just terrible. I don't know why isn't this loading? Ah, shoot, I can't see the article anymore. Let me see something. This is this is new, but basically what happens is the food gets caught up in it gets caught up in uh, the poor transportation system. So the farmers, they collect what they can and they try to transport it to the grocery store, but obviously because of roads, because of it could be terrorism, it can be just low quality vehicles. There's no refrigeration in the trucks. The food start to spoil, and this website actually had some of the percentages, but a good bit, like billions of dollars, I think it was around 300 billions of dollars, is wasted because of the produce not making it to market. So having refrigeration, having trucks that are able to make the journey, and having a place to store that produce is very important to farmers because a lot of them are already operating on uh, lower lower margins, especially when I think it's like about 25% of their revenue can be lost because of these spoiled products. So it's really very, very, very serious thing. when it comes to just transportation of that produce, you got to have a way to refrigerate it, especially if you're not going to be selling it immediately. So, and it actually reminds me of some of the, like when it comes to like just vegetables and fresh fruits, a lot of times it doesn't taste that fresh. When I was in Nigeria and I had a lot of the meals, it just wasn't that fresh like that. Even some of the salads, I didn't really see salads like that. I didn't really see vegetables like that, different types of vegetables. And I wonder if it's because lack of cold storage. So I'm saying cold storage and pay attention to it because cold storage is what what basically the U.S. does to keep their products um, healthy and basically keep the produce from spoiling and fresh, and it's the quality that they try to maintain. And because there's so many cold storage options in the U.S., the whole process is very efficient. So, what exactly is cold storage? This website does a good job of explaining it. I'm just going to pick out bits and pieces, and basically, it's just a storage facility that is temperature controlled. Depending on what you're trying to put in there, there's different temperatures for whatever produce you need to store for the time being. If you need to store it for like weeks or a month, you'll put it in here until it's ready to go. So, it also talks about the cold chain. So I was before I was talking about just the different trucks and having refrigerated trucks. So when you put your produce on a truck, it goes to the cold storage facility. You still want to have a way to maintain a certain temperature so that the spoil process is delayed as much as possible because that's money. So you want to be able to control how much of your loss in produce you get, or what that you can save. So this just talks about refrigerated trucks is one, cold storage warehouses, freezers, and for retail, anything that maintains a specific temperature. And it also doesn't have to just be food, also medicine, so vaccines and other medicine like that uses cold storage in order for it to still maintain its viability, its effectiveness. And without cold storages, a lot of this stuff spoils. So I did hear about when it was coming to the COVID vaccines, a lot of the COVID vaccines were either being spoiled or they expired or they weren't maintained properly. They weren't really effective. But um, in reality, I'm not gonna even say. I'm not gonna speak on that. But anyways, so you can use these cold storage facilities for different things, even flowers. If you want fresh flowers, live plants, and stuff like that. It even says artwork, so that's pretty cool. And what it does at the end of the day, it just makes everything efficient. Your whole agricultural process, from the farm to the factory or to the retail store, to the processing, everything is in an environment that maintains its freshness, and that's what consumers want. So, so you can do short storage, or you can do long storage for many months. It just depends on what produce that you have and what you're trying to do. You don't want to put too much out, so it all goes into it. But just having the option to do that has served the U.S. well, and this can be a huge game changer, like, or more of these facilities in West Africa. So, the article that inspired me to really create this channel, or create this video, is this one Nigerian that decided to tackle this issue. So he created a cold storage that, as you see, is a pay-as-you-go storage, and it's called Cold Hubs, and it is a Nigerian company that operates solar-powered cold rooms, providing a pay-as-you-go store service for fresh produce to small holder farmers and market merchants. And if you know Nigeria, you know there's issues with power. Power is not consistent. It's always going on and off, and just the expense of it all. Also using diesel generators is dirty. Still, it's using oil, and that's a hassle to bring around. You know, people can steal it. So, using solar panels is a very intelligent way to create this type of food storage. Now, I don't know how how much energy that it can that is needed. But nonetheless, this is what this guy did, and what sparked him to do it was basically he saw the need for and how farmers were just losing a lot of their produce. So he's from or he found it in Imo State, Nigeria, and basically yeah, he just saw how much was being lost, and he decided to start a company about it. Now, what I like seeing is he started with 25 code hubs in 3 states and with a team of 7, and now he has 54 hubs, so more than doubled in 22 states. So definitely doing well, and it has a staff of 68. And he's looking to increase that, obviously, and have more capacity to withstand more food products. So what else? So he got definitely got grants and funds from U.S. aid and the government of Japan. That's pretty cool, and he's now looking to expand in Benin Republic. So yeah, that's really important. To you don't just stay in one area. You figure out your process, your product and your process. You figure that out, and then that's when you start to expand. So I like the fact that he's trying to think bigger than just Nigeria. He's thinking of other countries. So Benin is right next to him. So that's pretty good that he's looking at that and just trying to make sure that everything is good. Uh, I think he said, oh yeah, so Sierra Leone as well. So and this is the guy right here, and what I like about this guy is he's also trying to diversify and try to obtain different value streams. Well, not value streams, but streams of income. And he's doing this by just looking at, okay, what else can I do with this cold storage? So refrigerated trucks is one thing that he's looking into. It's a production of returnable plastics. Like that's like you want to have different streams of income. You want to be well diversified. You don't want all your income coming from one product or one service. You want to keep developing so that you're a robust company and you're able to withstand the highs and lows of just business. So he's doing a pretty good job, and we need more like him. So as far as his solar efficiency, there's a lot of sun in West Africa, obviously, and he's developing the technology so that everything um, continues to work as it should. Uh, One thing he had to do, I saw this earlier, where there was some level of security. So unfortunately, um, there's always going to be someone that wants to take advantage of someone else's blessings, and he had to deal with that. But that's just part of business. So when you are going to do business in anywhere, you have to look at the security threats, the security risk, the shrink, how many people, how much can be stolen. Like all this has to factor into your business plan. So he found out the hard way, but you make adjustments. When something happens, you make adjustments. You just move on. So he seems to be doing away. This was another thing that was interesting, was he was trying to get away from cash, and unfortunately, there's a lot of African countries that still deal with cash as a main source of exchanging commerce and stuff like that. And cash is slow. It requires a lot of labor. Someone has to count it. Someone has to move it to the bank. This is a lot of hands touching it, and also can allow for theft. So since he has a lot of cold storage facilities, let's believe, and he talked about it in this article, where some people are just stealing the cash because you can't watch everyone all the time. Um, just like what he said, right? It's just pilfering. So understanding that, hey, look, this is the issue. I'm not going to just keep doing the same thing or lament about it. Let me come up with solutions. This is a true entrepreneur. This is what you do. When you have problems, then you try to tackle it. And then, of course, if you're doing good business, more people's going to ask for your product. Hence, him having larger cold rooms. And this will. So kudos to this guy. He's doing a pretty good thing. And this is much well needed. Cold storage rooms are very important to the African continent. There's a lot of food that's just being wasted because it can't be properly cared for. So what I like about it is um, just I kind of said my thoughts, but the fact that he just keeps on going, and he's not just stopping with one track mindset of just, okay, let me just do this cold storage in just one state and whatever, and I'll just stay here and that's it. And now he started thinking about other different ways to make money off of it. Well, I think of the possibilities that come from the cold storage is investing in that cold storage chain. So, early articles talking about how you got the trucks and you have refrigerators in the retail stores, and of course the cold storage itself. Like, there's so many ways that you can invest into this whole process that it's just, it's open for someone to want to invest in it. I wanted to invest in it, and then I saw how expensive it can get. And but you know what? I'm still gonna look at it. Like, it's still something I want to do in the future. And honestly, anything that stores products like warehousing, I actually looked at that as well. Where it's actually a good business model where you get some type of building, and then you house people's stuff. Like, I pay for storage, $100 a month to store my stuff. So it's just like they don't have to really do much. It's just, yeah, everyone gets their own little locker or whatever, and they collect their fees. So it's actually a good model. So here they're doing it with food, um, and also you can do it with medicine as well. So if you need, like, countries need places to store certain vaccines, medication, or whatever, you can be that source where, hey, look, I'm not going to be the pharmacist, but I can house the pharmacy's products and medicine so that it doesn't spoil or whatever, or for the hospital. You need I can make refrigerators. I can make specific refrigerators that are, I don't know, energy efficient. So there's so many possibilities to go with that. Where I see that improvement can be made is, let me go back up to this presentation. So that's something I always notice with a lot of African products. When it comes to presentation, it doesn't look that great. So just looking at this, just maybe this is one of the customers' stuff just hanging around on the house, or the cold storage unit, but this doesn't look nice. It doesn't look neat. It just looks like it was a school project. Like, I want to see stuff that looks like it's official. It's ready to go. Um, Also, heavy investment in research and development. So I think he's doing that as well, where he does have monitors in his cold storage rooms. So he has the monitors to make sure that the temperature stays at a certain level. It doesn't get too high. If it's not working properly, they get an alert. When it comes to maintenance, they make sure, like, they try to do maintenance on it. I think they said every 3 months, and that's something I noticed about just Nigeria. The maintenance culture is poor or almost non-existent. So the fact that he's thinking about, okay, yeah, I need to maintain this storage room. I need to make sure that all my equipment is working efficiently, consistently. I have to have a budget for that. That's really good. And I'll say, just food for thought. If it has a motor, then you're always going to have to do maintenance until the end of life for that piece of equipment. So, and then of course, the last thing that I would want to see from him is just consistency. So if he's going to make a lot of these cold storage units with the trucks and everything else that goes along with it, uh, it should be consistent reliability all across the board, so that other countries can want to invest in it. Like, okay, cool. I need this. I need 10 of these, whatever, and they know that the quality is going to be the same, regardless of if it's 500 pieces, 1,000 pieces, 10,000 pieces. That's we want that consistency. It just shows how professional you are as an organization. So that's what I wanted to share in this article. The cold storage facilities. If these are investment opportunities that you can do if you want to be part of the value chain of the agribusiness, the agricultural sector. Definitely, do your research in it, of course. And this might be a venture that you can be a part of. So, if you like this video and you think it was very helpful, then please like this video. Just click it, and then leave a comment down below to let me know if I'm hitting the mark with it. If this is too much information or is enough information. If you want to see more of this type of content, and if you haven't already done so, definitely subscribe to my channel so I can grow and I can have a wider reach to more people that are interested in this type of thing. So until the next video, I'll see you later.